Bob's Burgers and a trial by jury. Those two things do not seem like they should go together. Let's react to it. Hi everyone, my name is Mikayla. I'm a real-life lawyer, and today I'll be reacting to the trial in Season 7, Episode 11 of one of my favorite shows, Bob's Burgers. If you like reaction videos, I have an entire playlist that you can check out when you're done watching this one, and let's get right into it.
Hey everyone, Judge Conklin is just outside and he's ready to begin.
Okay, so right off the bat, you might notice that the prosecutor in this case, Jean, is sitting closer to the jury than Louise, who's the defense attorney, and there's a reason for that. In criminal cases, the prosecution has the burden of proof, which means they have the burden of proving what they are claiming, whereas the defense, on the other hand, has no burden at all. And while this is not a scientific fact, some believe that sitting closer to the jury may allow you to have more of an influence over the jury. And being that the prosecution is the one with the burden, the prosecution always sits closest to the jury, no matter the courtroom. So I like that they have that right.
He's retired, but today he's going to hear our case and guide us through the process.
I want to be Snow White.
Snow Way.
Bailiff Zeke, why don't you get us started?
Hear ye, hear ye. The court of the Honorable Judge Conklin is now in session. All rise.
Honorable. I haven't been called that since 1997. Maybe you should call me the somewhat respectable Judge Conklin.
He's funny.
Okay, I love a judge that makes jokes. While it may not always be appropriate, the vibe of a trial is very serious, as it should be, and it's nice when you see a happy judge who's just trying to lighten the mood. Also, the purpose of a bailiff, or Zeke in this case, is mainly to be responsible for everyone's safety in the courtroom and maintain control in the courtroom, and I love especially when TV shows have a bailiff with some personality. It's great.
Ooh, the somewhat wet and messy Judge Conklin. I had a little accident. Just water, not pee.
Oh, God. This guy's got no filter. He's seated.
It's gonna be a long day.
Okay, here we go. We will first hear from the prosecution.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Okay, the suit jacket, tie, and shorts? It's a moment. I'm not gonna lie, it's a moment. Jean here is making a statement that traditional courtroom attire is dead. And honestly, I am here for all of the millennial and Gen Z lawyers coming in and switching things up a bit. Will the jury like it? That's a different conversation.
Here are the facts. The evil queen was jealous of my client, the gorgeous but a little son wouldn't kill her Snow White and gave her a poison apple, sending her into a sleeping death. To sum it up, not cool. So do your thing and return a verdict of guilty.
I mean, I guess that was an opening, I suppose. I personally would have added a little bit more detail to make the opening longer than like 30 seconds, but it was an opening.
Okay, counterpoint. She's not guilty. Thank you.
Louise,
Yes, ma'am.
if you don't want to participate, then you can just write a 1,000-word essay on the legal system due tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? I mean, her first name is Evil.
Louise,
Ugh, fine.
Okay, all jokes aside, Luis's opening was very illustrative of her burden, or lack thereof, as the defense. Like I touched on earlier, in criminal cases, the prosecution has the burden and the defense just doesn't. Should they for some reason not want to, the defense has no legal duty to provide a defense. And if the prosecution in their case fails to meet their burden, the defense wins, even if they didn't put on a case. So Louise is truly playing into the accuracy of her character as a defense attorney, and I love that. However, her teacher doesn't. So let's see where this goes.
So, you're a charming prince, huh?
Yes, I am.
And what kind of charmer goes around kissing dead girls?
I was trying to revive her with my true love kiss. Get off my back.
How many corpses did you kiss before you found your Snow White, Romeo?
You're none.
How many?
1,
How many?
4.
How many?
I don't know.
Why don't you think?
The sake of that help.
Order!
That would have been a good time for Jean to object. In true Louise style, that was a beautiful example of what's called badgering the witness, which you are not allowed to do. Cross-examination is the time to remain cool, calm, and collected, because as the attorney, the moment you become hostile, you lose your power and you may even upset the jury.
If there are no further questions, it's time for the jury to deliberate.
All right, then. I guess I asked for a mistrial. It's impossible for my client, the evil queen, to get a fair trial here because everyone knows the story of Snow White.
I love this. A mistrial can occur for several reasons. One of those reasons being when a situation arises that would result in an unfair trial. In real life, if there was a situation that was all over the news and just about everyone had heard about it, it's still the job of the lawyers to pick a jury that's not familiar with the details and can be impartial. It would be difficult to find several jurors who had never heard of the story of Snow White. Therefore, I think Louise is justified in asking for a mistrial. Though she probably shouldn't have waited until the end of trial to do it.
No one has ever asked for a mistrial.
So you'll grant me one?
Nope, the jury seems impartial and capable.
And mysterious, with a hint of glamour.
Jury, how do you find the defendant?
The impartial, capable, mysterious, and glamorous jury rules in favor of the prosecution. We find the evil queen guilty.
Shocking.
Sweet Lady Justice!
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did!
I did not.
What is going on?
Mr. Franz stole my yogurt! Look, this is his trash can! Gasp, right?
I did not eat that yogurt.
What happens when you find Franz guilty? Does this school have the death penalty?
How about if the jury finds him guilty, he has to wear a sign all day that says, "I'm a disgusting yogurt thief."
Ah, yes!
And if he's found innocent, then you have to wear a sign all day that reads, "I'm a filthy liar mouth."
Perfect.
Okay, so now it appears we're getting into something more akin to a real trial. And I did want to point out, you cannot find a defendant innocent. You can find them guilty or not guilty, but you do not find them innocent. And the reason for that is because we weren't there. The jury's job is not to decide whether the defendant is innocent. Their role is to determine whether the prosecution, or in a civil case, the plaintiff, has met their burden. And if they haven't, they find them not guilty, or in a civil case, not liable.
So we'll keep Zeke as the bailiff, Jean you'll be prosecuting, and Louise, since you were finally making some progress as a defender, you get to defend Mr. Frond.
They don't like each other. Can you tell?
All rise for the somewhat respectable Judge Conklin.
I guess I brought that on myself. Today, you, the jury, will hear the case of Mr. Ambrose versus Mr. Frond, one of whom will wear the hilarious sign we discussed yesterday. I should instruct the jury that until the trial is over, you may not discuss the case.
Whoa, forbidden conversation. So, how about this case, huh?
What?
I know, we shouldn't. We mustn't.
I can't. What are you saying?
Exactly.
This is accurate. In real life, the jurors cannot discuss the case with anyone while it's going on, including each other.
Let's begin with the opening statements.
As far back as I can remember, Mr. Ambrose has been hollering on about Mr. Franz stealing his yogurt.
Why is he talking like that?
Problem was, there wasn't no proof. But now, we have more evidence than an alligator with a full belly next to an empty crawfish bucket.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Can I interrupt here? The court asks that you use your normal speaking voice. I mean, personally, I really like it, but it's confusing the jury.
Oh, boo. Mr. Ambrose's yogurt container was found in Mr. Franz's trash can. End of story. I'm good at law.
Applause! Applause!
It's funny because the attorneys who have those deep Southern accents in real life are loved by juries, most of the time. It depends on where you go. Jean's opening this time, not great. It was very short again, and it wasn't very moving after he lost the accent. I'm not convinced.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, maybe he didn't do it. Huh? Good night.
That's it? That's all you got?
Oh, we also have a right to a speedy trial, so let's get this going, huh?
So same sentiments as earlier. Also, the right to a speedy trial refers to the length of time between the lawsuit actually being initiated and the trial actually beginning. It doesn't refer to the duration of the trial itself. But good effort.
That's where you ate the yogurt. But it wasn't yogurt, was it?
No.
Aha! You admit you ate it!
No, I'm saying it wasn't my gurt, and I didn't eat it.
Yes, you did. No further questions.
Gotcha.
I love the use of the demonstrative aid here with Jean's little map, but you have to let the witness finish speaking. You just can't do that.
So you walked from here to there. When exactly did you eat the yogurt?
I didn't eat The yogurt!
I'm satisfied.
Louise, I hate to be that guy, but you have an obligation to provide this man with a defense.
Working with what I got, Your Honor.
Let's get this party started. I call to the stand Miss Selbo. Miss Selbo, do you have any Gert-related gossip? Any hot Gert goss?
Well, Mr. Ambrose is always leaving his yogurt spoons lying around.
Wait, what do you mean he leaves them lying around?
These yogurts have a plastic spoon in the lid for the yogurt eater on the go.
Yeah, or a yogurt thief on the go, like Mr. Frond.
Look at the yogurt container. The spoon is still in the lid. How did I eat it?
Probably with your tongue, like a dirty frog.
Impossible. I have a tiny tongue. See?
Ugh, put that away.
Okay, so a lot of good information and evidence coming out here, but Luis absolutely cannot ask the witness questions during opposing counsel or Jean's examination here. And the victim and defendant also don't get to just start speaking to each other. Like, none of this is allowed. This is probably where Zeke the bailiff should have stepped in to, you know, maintain control of the courtroom like I mentioned earlier, but I think that ship has sailed.
Today, the defense will prove that Mr. Frond did not steal the yogurt. And what's more, I will show you who did steal the yogurt as soon as I figure out who that is. Anyway, look at the map. Mr. Frond's office is between the teacher's lounge and the cafeteria. It would have been easy for someone to eat that yogurt as they walk down the hall, finish it, and throw it in Mr. Frond's trash can. So the question is, who would have been in the teacher's lounge after school when teachers are rushing out to their second jobs? Who would have gone from there to the cafeteria?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, yes, I do. Oh my God, he's right there.
Yes, Mr. Frond was in the teacher's lounge on Monday afternoon. But witnesses placed two other people there on that same afternoon. I call back to the stand Miss Selbo.
Okay, so Luis appears to be giving an opening statement in the middle of trial, which, you guessed it, is improper, but she's doing a lot better than Jean did. She said things like, I will show and the defense will prove, which is very similar to how one would word an opening in real life. Point for Louise, but let's see if she follows through on what she's saying.
The defense calls to the stand Mr. Branca. Mr. Branca, please tell the court what you were doing in the teacher's lounge after school Monday.
Same thing I do in there every day. Empty the trash, pretend to vacuum, you know, Branca stuff.
That carpet probably hides dirt.
Yeah, I just make the sound. It just...
Is someone vacuuming?
So what did you do next?
Well, I walked down the hallway, I mopped up something vomit-ish.
Then what? Then what, Branca?
Picked up some odds and ends, a broken scrunchie, a few retainers, a spoon.
What? Did you just say a spoon?
Yes. Am I saying that right? Spoon.
Let me get this straight. You're confessing that you found a spoon Monday after school? Where did you find it, Branca? In your mouth?
I find spoons all over the place. Someone tried to flush a spoon down the toilet 3 times last year.
My bad.
You want me out there finding your spoons. You need me out there finding your spoons. I mean, who leaves a spoon on a drinking fountain?
Wait, where did you find the spoon?
On the drinking fountain.
So before trial, it's customary to meet with your witnesses to basically just have a conversation with them and get an idea of what you expect them to say and give them an idea of what they should expect for you to ask. And I will say no amount of witness prep you can do will force a witness to be that compelling. With his passion and way of storytelling, Mr. Branca is the exact type of witness you want.
One last question for you, Mr. Branca. The drinking fountain you found the spoon on, how would you describe it?
The squirty one?
The squirty one. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we all started this trial thinking Mr. Frond was gross and terrible. And we still think that. He's many things. Annoying, desperate, but he's also something else. Innocent.
So in true Louise fashion, she went into closing arguments before the prosecution and while there was a witness still on the stand. I don't think I need to go into detail about how improper that is. But what I love is she started off her closing with a strategy that I think is very compelling. She listed off and owned up to a bunch of negative truths about her client before ultimately dropping the positive truth that her client is innocent. Basically saying, yeah, the prosecution can have this and they can have that, but when it comes to the thing that really matters, they're wrong. I love it.
Mr. Frond didn't eat Mr. Ambrose's yogurt. Judge Conklin did.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, what?
Order! Order! That is a very serious accusation, Louise.
Yeah.
Don't you accuse my judge. Don't you do it.
Present your argument.
You know, I got suspicious when you mentioned the carpet in the teacher's lounge probably hides dirt. It made it sound like you'd been in the teacher's lounge. But it was something else you said when you first walked in on Monday. You said you had an accident and it was water, not pee.
It was pee.
No, Zeke, it was water.
Oh.
I say Judge Conklin went into the teacher's lounge and helped himself to the yogurt, ate it as he walked down the hall, threw away the container in Mr. Fran's trash can, then went to the drinking fountain to wash it down, leaving the spoon on top. The squirty fountain did what it does best, squirted him, hence the wet sleeve.
Wow. You are 100% correct.
I mean, it's not every day that the culprit admits to their wrongdoing, right? But with a speech that compelling, I mean, can you blame him?
What I don't know is why. Why did you eat a yogurt that did not belong to you?
Yeah, why?
It was an honest mistake. Usually at these school mock trials, they have some sort of refreshments. I thought the yogurt was your attempt at that. I didn't know about this new spoon in the lid technology, so I just used one of those old-fashioned metal spoons and I accidentally left it on the fountain.
But why didn't you just admit you did it yesterday? Why make us go through all of this?
I thought I saw potential in this young defense attorney. When this case fell in our lap, it seemed like a good challenge.
So this whole time, you were teaching us.
And I have to say, I am impressed. I like the way you think. You dug deep to find the truth and saved an innocent man, even though you two clearly have issues.
We do.
This was a very symbolic moment that I think is very similar to real life. The job of a defense attorney is to provide their client with the best defense possible, as by law, everyone, no matter what, has the right to an attorney and the right to a fair trial. And in a lot of cases, the defense attorney might not like their client on a personal level. I mean, that goes for all attorneys, honestly. But at the end of the day, Louise was able to put her personal feelings aside and give her client the best legal representation she possibly could. And she ended up winning. And I think that's beautiful.
Court is adjourned. I guess I better put this on. I have a date later. It'll be a great icebreaker. Bye, everyone. Hope you all become lawyers.
Kids, please don't tell your parents how we've spent the last 2 days.
I wish we did mock trials this early in school. I know as a kid, I would have loved to participate in this kind of activity. And while there were many inaccuracies, I think Bob's Burgers did a great job of illustrating many of the experiences we as real attorneys face in our lives. And if you like this video, you're going to love my reaction to Don't Be a Lawyer from the CW's Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So click the video on the screen right now to see that. Goodbye and go thrive.